Yo gamers, my name is Flaws. We had a little bit of a reaction to a speedrun that was full of glitches and I had a hard time making sense of any of it, so let's watch BlueSR, how speedrunners beat Hollow Knight in under 5 minutes. So yeah, let's understand together. Yeah, also, like and subscribe. Just kidding. Also, feel free to let me know what else I could react to. You know, it is fun to react, it is a good little video to make, and yeah, let's just get into it. No long intros here. And I've turned up the volume. I think it might be a bit too loud.
The tricks, skips, and strategies that form the routes of Hollow Knight speedrun categories always have a story behind them.
Yes.
As a longtime speedrunner of the game myself, nothing fascinates me more than that gradual process of discovery, understanding, and implementation. The ever-going cycle that is constantly pushing every category just a little bit closer to its limits. And never, in my over 2 years of speedrunning, have I seen such a genuinely fascinating tale go untold like what I'll be exploring today. This is the story of how Hollow Knight players beat the game in under 5 minutes.
Yeah.
A story of how 2 clever discoveries allowed Hollow Knight's shortest speedrun to be cut in half. In other words, a brief history of the Hollow Knight any % speedrun world record. As you might know,
just already gliding, let's go.
Compared to their no major glitches counterparts.
Yep, that's what we saw.
This mostly has to do with the fact that they generally have a higher bar of entry and are seen as very overcomplicated and confusing to newer players, as well as the general casual audience. Because of this, I'm gonna try to keep this video relatively simplified while still trying to explain things at a decent level of depth. You ready? Well, get your Wonders journals out and let's begin. Get it? Wonders journal?
Yeah.
You're like wondering about the topic and it's also an item in Hollow Knight?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
No? Oh, okay,
come on!
I guess my puns are just too wonderful for you! Sorry. Okay, I'll move on. For the longest time, the any % all glitches speedrun for Hollow Knight was played on patch 1.0.2.8 and clocked in right around 10 minutes. But what allows the game to be beaten so quickly?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you a question.
That's why I'm here!
What do you really need to beat Hollow Knight?
Oh,
your usual 80% run goes like this. You get Vengeful Spirit, you get Dash, you get Claw. Then you go pick up the Dream Nail, you fight the Watcher Knights, kill Lurian. You go back around to get C-Dash, you fight Umu, you get Monomon. Then you go to Beasten and get Hera, and from there you fight the Hollow Knight. In a glitch speedrun, however, you can skip almost all of that. The requirements for beating the game
now this is why the editor brain goes in here. Like, then I'm thinking like, why did he get this right here? How did he mask that? No way he did it. Frame by frame. There's no way. There's no way. If anyone actually knows, feel free to let me know. Because I would love to actually have that. I might need it for my P5 video. So please, if anyone knows, or if anyone could find that VFX for me, feel free. I'm all ears. I'm all ears because I wanna, you know, make the video as good as possible. No, it's not coming soon, but it's coming before Silksong, okay? So stay tuned. And also, speaking about Silksong, yeah, I am stalling right now. But speaking of Silksong, imagine missing out on the second best playthrough, right behind yours. Yeah, just go ahead and subscribe.
In a glitch speedrun, however, you can skip almost all of that. The requirements for beating the game end up being the 3 Dreamers as well as Dream Nail. In other words, the requirements to enter the Black Egg Temple. But how is this done, exactly?
I don't know.
The main principle of the any % all glitches run has historically been a glitch called main menu storage. Also, sorry, I need to take a second to dissipate this stupid rumor that I've been seeing going around. Like, every day I get a comment that says, like, glitch runs are cheating or whatever, using glitches is cheating. That is so stupid. You know, there's a reason we have multiple rule sets for glitches in speedrunning. It's to allow everyone to play the game the way they want with even competition. It just annoys me a lot that people would go and completely invalidate someone else's achievement, someone else's hard work, by saying stupid shit like this. And you know what? If people who think glitches are cheating for whatever reason want to go in my comments and complain, then honestly just do that. I don't really care. I guess you're giving me more engagement, so well played. Also, I just want to point out that glitched runs are often so much harder than no major glitches runs, so what are you even talking about?
Me when I'm stalling for content?
Sorry for
like I just did.
Let's move on. Main menu storage, or MMS.
But I mean, he's right. He's correct. BlueSR is being correct.
Storage glitches are glitches where you manipulate the 0 to 1
BlueSR.
values of your player states.
Could be BlueSR.
For example, a state such as being grounded, having control of your character, having your inventory open, or being submerged in liquid. Main menu storage, as it sounds, allows you to store the main menu itself on top of the game or on top of itself.
That's fucking funny.
With main menu storage, you can launch multiple save files on top of each other, which causes a variety of strange things to happen. It allows you to merge save files, move progression between save files, keep multiple bench hard save points to teleport to, dupe rooms on top of each other. The list goes on. Main menu storage is by far the most broken glitch in Hollow Knight.
Okay.
So broken, in fact, that when it was discovered, the old all glitches rule set had to be broken into two.
Oh my
god.
god.
Main menu storage, where it is not allowed, and one called all glitches, where it is.
Main menu
how does
storage.
Main menu storage work in practice?
But why is it so OP?
Up until late 2021, the main practical use of main menu storage had to do with keeping multiple bench heart saves at once, as well as duplicating dreamers. In Hollow Knight, the amount of dreamers you need to open the Black Egg Temple is counted as a value from 1 to 3. The game doesn't discern between the dreamers as individuals. As long as you have 3, then you're good to go. Because of this, you can get the same dreamer on 3 separate save files, and main menu storage merge them together into one big pile.
Oh, okay.
You've now cut down on minutes upon minutes of traversal, boss fights, and all that stuff that it takes to get between the
like I was just, I'm just
if you combine
walking.
this with movement glitches and room duping, then there you go. There's the game beat in 10 minutes. This is obviously a very simplified version, but in a way, this was pretty much what the 90% all glitches route looked like for the most time. Notable runners during this era of the category were Crythum, Zero Go Fast, Fivebrain, and Inoki.
He even has a name
now,
from the game. Or maybe, no, Zero is definitely a
1.0
name used many places.
The reason for this was that it was a very early version.
Or maybe this guy was a backer to the game. The Zero guy. Yeah, and then he took it from somewhere else. Maybe, I don't know. It's just a guess.
Of the game, and a lot of the glitches were available to the player because of that. Mainly on this patch of the game, the player always had access to the quick map key, which is an easy way to open your player inventory at any time and gain yourself storage and early control glitches very easily. Generally, the later the patch, the less glitches you have access to. And because of that, the current patches of the game weren't really considered for the category. That was up until late 2021, where a lot of runners started stumbling upon something quite interesting. Speedrunners had known for a long time that main menu storage had never been patched. It was doable on the very latest version of the game. And around late 2021, runners realized something very clever. And that has to do with the Godmaster DLC's Godseeker mode.
Yeah.
As you might know, Godseeker mode is the third playable mode for a Hollow Knight save file. Unlocked after beating the Pantheon of the Sage, a Godseeker file launches you into Godhome right away with every bit of equipment and every ability. Now what if you launch a brand new Godseeker file, do main menu storage, and launch a regular play file on top of it? I think you're seeing where this is going. Speedrunners tried this out, and it turns out that you were able to do exactly that. Hollow Knight now had a de facto New Game Plus mode. Just 40-ish seconds into the run, you could now enter King's Pass with every single ability in the game. How does this work? Well, it's kinda complicated, but let me explain. What you do, you channel your inner Gorb, and you say, ascend, 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 woo, bah! Whoa, sorry, wrong explanation. The run begins with the player opening a brand new Godseeker play file. Once loaded into the game, the player C-dashes over to the main area of Godhome to get themselves a hard save. From here, they quit back out to the menu.
I mean, we have to read it. We have to read it. Also, guys, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have different lighting today. So I'm looking to see if it actually looks decent. But yeah, I might swap it up a bit for the future. But yeah, let's just see what he wrote here.
Themselves a hard save.
This makes them spawn on the Godhome bench when they come back. This is mainly used to set up no-clip and bench storage. Like, okay, can we agree that, you know, these big-ass text formats, and I mean, it makes sense that it's there because, you know, maybe some people would not notice. But yeah, this is mainly used to set up no-clip and bench storage, but more on that later. The save icon appears because they are in the process of quitting. That is the trigger for the hard save. Sorry for making you pause the video.
From here, they quit back out to the menu. The runner then performs main menu storage by spamming through the menus with a mouse in a very specific way. For those curious as to how this works, the first thing you do is you quickly open the quit game prompt by pressing the lowest option on the main menu. By then closing that menu on the same frame as you gain control, you can trick the game into loading both menus at the same time. This means that the player is now going to have two main menus loaded on top of each other. Notice how the player has to initiate the deletion of their save file in order to reach the start game prompt on the lower menu. This is why a mouse is required. You need to be precise. Just like that, the player has two instances of the main menu loaded on top of each other. From here, they open their recently created Godhome file and follow it up with creating a brand new save.
Who the fuck figures this out? Huh? Okay, yeah, sure.
File on the second instance of the menu.
So you do it like this.
Notice how the mode select window appears right as the game fades to black. It's a little bit hard to see, but if you squint, you can barely make it out.
I mean,
That
it's
is when the
rather easy
second
to
save
see it
file
actually.
is created.
Thank you.
The knight loads into Godhome on the bench they were hard saved to, and then, just like that, the beginning cutscene of the game plays. Once all of the opening cutscenes are done, the knight loads into King's Pass with every ability of the game, as well as two nifty glitches. No-clip and bench storage. These two glitches are attained because you didn't actually finish leaving the bench.
I think I actually called that.
You now have control of your character
I don't
while
know.
the game thinks you're still sitting on a bench. Hence, collision isn't triggered and you can open your inventory and equip charms whenever you want.
But if collision
runner's
is not triggered, how can he crystal hard dash? Eh?
Obviously take use of this in multiple parts of this run. There are some really interesting properties to a Godseeker file once you get out into Hollownest. In the Godhome file, Team Cherry deactivated things such as picking up Geo because it is just not relevant to Godhome. When you walk over a drop piece of Geo, the player will collect the Geo without removing it from the ground, allowing you to infinitely duplicate Geo. This is useful in the run for one thing, opening the Crossroads Stag Station, which will be very, very useful later and not for the reason you're guessing. So, in short, the discovery of Godhome main menu storage allows the player to create a de facto new game plus save file only 40 seconds into the run. This led to a completely new route for the all glitches speedrun. It was now run on the very latest version of the game, and wasn't that glitched? You see, the reason glitch speedrunners often downpatch to older versions of the game is so that they can have access to more glitches. Team Cherry has patched a lot of the glitches that speedrunners use.
But how do they become... I mean, I no clip, but guess there? How do you turn from no clip to there? You know, suddenly you're actually on the ground and then you can walk, but you know, other times you're just falling down. Like, what is the prerequisites for that?
Use over the years, and compared to patch 10.28, the run is essentially
I'm expecting some big brainers in the chat today, huh?
glitchless. The run now boiled down to doing main menu storage,
And then he's gonna land on something, right?
The run, and then using float and
So water is different. I mean, this is acid. But why is it...
no clip to travel around
Why did he... I can't England today. I can't England, so don't, yeah.
On Hollow Nest and get the 3 Dreamers. By the time they reach the Hollow Knight at the end, the runner just equips the fastest, most powerful nail build and whacks the THK to death. This completely different route only ended up being marginally faster than the old route, but it was a lot easier and more consistent. However, this new discovery led to a surge in activity of the category, and the world record competition ended up being a 3-way between Krytham, Staxis, and Fivebrain, all of whom did runs over the next few weeks. Staxis ended up on top, landing a 9-minute and 12-second time, which was at the time 24 seconds faster than what was able to be attained with the older route. Another few months went on with almost no competition in the category, and right then was when the second discovery shook this category. Speedrunner Marcy August was messing around on stream on the 13th of January 2022, and that was when she discovered...
Oh, I'm in front of... Well, I mean, I guess it does matter.
Interesting. While messing around with the stag station, she was able to get control of her character while selecting a stag.
So what I was trying to say, because I keep stopping myself from saying stuff, well, I'm in front of her camera.
While messing around with this further, she left the room while having this early control, and... Marcy August had discovered a way to do room duping on the current patch of the game. Since the old strategy for room duping had been patched years earlier, runners had been looking for a way to do this for quite a while. Now, room duping is quite a complicated subject, so I'm gonna take a little while to go through it in detail here.
Okay.
As stated, room duping
Big brain time.
patches the game is attained by having early control in a stag menu and leaving the room at the same time as the game pulls you away to travel with the stag itself. You've now entered 2 transitions at the same time, which triggers the game to load both of the next 2 rooms on top of each other, connected at the bottom left corner of each room. Now, like I said, the main reason to duplicate rooms is to give yourself the ability to duplicate the Dreamers, which saves you minutes upon minutes of travel time.
That's why that was a thing.
But perhaps the most interesting part of this is that you can actually save time on travel to the first Dreamer as well, as opposed to just traveling through the rooms normally, or, well, not normally since you have no clip, but that's besides the point. Now this may be a little bit tricky to wrap your head around, but I'm gonna try to explain the mechanics of room duping in Hollow Knight. And the best way to do this is to give you a feasible example from the run itself. In the any % all glitches speedrun, the runner gains the room dupe state from the Crossroads stag. In other words, they open the stag, give themselves control while interacting with it, travel to Dirtmouth, and then leave the room at the same time. The runner has now duplicated the Dirtmouth stag room with the room outside.
Dirtmouth. We do agree that it's called Dirtmouth. He did also say Hollow Nest. Am I being trolled? Maybe I am.
Of the stag station. Now, I know this is a bit confusing, but just try to think of the map and which transitions they're traveling to. The map works the exact same way and you end up in the correct places. From here, the fastest way to get to Monomon, which is a Dreamer they'll be attaining, is to go through the Crossroads False Knight room. The runners use a full dash build, as well as float and no-clip to move through the room quickly. The only things that can interact with the player are hazards and the room transitions. Once the player has traveled through this transition, the oldest loaded room will be replaced with the new room. Once they enter the next room, the rooms that are loaded are the Crossroads Guard Corridor as well as the Dirtmouth Stag Station. Now here comes the clever part. Traveling through this long room is going to take quite a bit, even with the full build that they have available to them. So what they can do instead is travel back through the same transition. This replaces the Dirtmouth Stag room, which is the oldest loaded room, with the previous Crossroads room, and most importantly, the runner is entering that room from the left. Here's a clip by Fivebrain, a top glitched runner, where he explains this.
And we come in here. So the load we want to hit is this one over here. We want to...
Okay, now I understand the no-clip part. I mean, of course he's no-clipping, you know, with actual cheats on, right? But I guess, you know, every single place is actually just, you know, a steady, solid surface that he can just walk a crystal hard dash on. And then, you know, if you press down, you just keep going down until you know, you hit where you need to go, and then you go to the left. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, you know?
To go to False Night Room, because we're trying to go left. We're trying to go from here all the way to Monomon. So we want to go left through False Night Room, down past, like, the Acid Grub, and then down into Fog Canyon. Now, it would be really slow to just walk straight across this whole room. And so one of the power of room dupes is that if you want to go left, you can go left by going right. And so the way that works is that I'm going to come back.
Yeah, of course.
And now you see, because we went through a right transition, we're on the left side of the room. But the load we want to hit is still there, because the other room didn't unload.
What even died there?
And so we can go left by going right, and that sort of warps us to the left side of the room.
Of course.
This principle is
yeah,
repeated
that's
multiple
obvious.
times to drastically cut down the travel time between point A and point B. When the runner reaches Monomon with a duped room state is when the real time save begins. By entering the dream and immediately diving into the void, the runner can load another instance of archives while still maintaining the dreamer room itself loaded. When this is repeated threefold, the runner can load 3 instances of the dreamer room and 2 instances of archives on top of each other. Since they're all linked up in the bottom left corner of the room, the dreamers are essentially stacked on top of each other. This allows the player to just whack them as usual, focus in their essence, and you've now collected 3 dreamers. From
Perfect!
Here, runners quit out to remove the room dupe state and dreamgate back to the Black Egg Temple, where they set a dreamgate at the start of the run.
Oh.
As you can see, the
Cool
Black
slide.
Egg Temple opens despite the player not having collected Hera and Lurian. This is because the game counts dreamers by amount and not by individual. You can collect 3 dreamers, whichever ones they are, and the game will let you into the Black Egg Temple.
Smart.
From here, the runner gets themselves a glitch called bench storage and enters the Black Egg Temple.
Correction, the player still has bench storage because they never left any benches, even though they quit out. This is because they were hard saved at Monomon upon collecting the dreamers, and therefore woke up on the ground. This allowed the bench storage state to stay from the guard home. MMS, yeah, sure. At the start of the run, in short, the player never left any benches, so the game thinks they're still on 1, allowing the player to equip charms whenever. We got it.
While they break the chains, they equip a full nail build with Fury of the Fallen. As you might remember, because of the main menu storage in Godhome, they have everything in the game, including the full nail upgrades and spell upgrades. The fight begins, and the runners go down to Fury immediately, and then they fight the boss as usual. It doesn't take very long.
Nope.
And that was the new route for the category.
Yep.
While sharing this discussion with others in the speedrun Discord, other runners went crazy, and this triggered a new wave of glitched runs. Staxis himself said that he had been looking for this for a really long time, but had not been able to find a way to do it. He also very accurately predicted that the run was going to be cut in half. Anyway, runners got to work, and before a few days had passed even, a new route had been constructed for the any% category. The 2 top glitch runners at the time, Staxis and 5brain, immediately got to work. Over a few days, they battled back and forth over who was going to be able to get the first 5-minute time. On January 17th of 2022, Staxis was the first runner to break the 5-minute barrier.
I guess that's the one we watched.
4 minutes,
yeah.
44 seconds, and
because I remember it was
550
Staxis.
milliseconds. Closely after, 5brain achieved this as well, and the runners went back and forth a little bit longer.
But Staxis ended up
3
winning.
months later, the current world record for the category was achieved by Staxis. A
4 minute 33.
36 second,
Oh,
and
36, fuck.
480 millisecond time, with 5brain only 6 seconds behind. And up until today, that is where the category lies. But who knows, maybe a new massive discovery is gonna shake the category, just like it's done multiple times in the past. Personally, I find it absolutely remarkable that a complicated, giant game like Hollow Knight can be beaten in so quickly as 5 minutes.
Yep. That is insane.
Shocking.
That is actually
and ever
insane.
since January of this year, I've been absolutely fascinated with this story. So before this video ends, I want to give a massive shout out to glitched runners like Marcy August, Fivebrain, Snaxis, Krytham, Inoki, etc, etc. A lot of these people helped me out with research and helped me with the questions I had. And they don't get nearly enough praise for their massive achievements.
Also shout out to
in Hollow
Jenkar.
Knight. Also, lastly, I want to say that I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading, like, at all. I've been trying to do a video per month, but, well, the fluke video was, like, 4 months ago, and I've been super
Someday.
burned out and tired. I started the Swedish equivalent of high school, and it's been stressful and stuff like that.
Wait, he's Swedish? Wait. His English is very good. Swedish version of high school. Yeah, his English is really good. He should be proud of himself. Also, really, he's very thorough. He's very good at pronouncing stuff. Very impressive, very impressive. But I guess that's just the way of the Zoomers.
So, I'm hoping to have the energy to work on more video stuff. I've been getting a lot of good ideas for videos, but I just haven't had the energy to do them. So, bear with me. A new video soon. I don't know. Thank you for watching, though.
P5 videos soon, right? Haha! But yeah, of course, go and subscribe to BlueSR. He makes good quality story videos of our all favorite game, Hollow Knight. It's actually not my favorite, but it's definitely my top 5, I think. Yeah. Don't call me a heretic though. But I really, like, it is my best performing series on YouTube, without a doubt, so far. So, but yeah, I did enjoy it. Like, it's top 5. So yeah, really good video. Really good video by BlueSR, as per usual. Round of applause. So, I definitely learned a few things here. Keep in mind, the VFX stuff. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, if anyone knows what that VFX was, I mean, I know it's a boss spawning, but it didn't look pixelated or anything, so he didn't actually just... I don't know. If anyone knows, feel free to let me know, you know. I am willing to learn. I love to learn. So yeah, I don't think there's much else to say, other than thank you guys for watching. Always a pleasure to react with you guys. We're all sitting here together. I forgot to tell you guys to bring a snack, didn't I? Oh well. So yeah, what else is there to say? Oh yeah, P5 video is coming before Silksong. There's no date. So yeah, I'm not gonna promise anything because then I'm not... I mean, let's manifest, guys. Let's manifest the P5 video, okay? So yeah, thank you all so very much for watching. The friendly stuff remind us to leave a like and subscribe to stay tuned for more. And until next time, 3, 2, 1, fades away.